Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here. How are you? My name is Amanda and I run the DebtFreePanda Instagram page, and obviously this is my YouTube channel. I also have a website and a store which is linked down below. I sell handmade cash envelopes, savings scratcher tickets, other really fun budgeting tools, printable envelopes, all those good things that we all love here in the budgeting community. But today I wanted to sit down and share my payday process, I guess is what you can call it. So I did get paid today. Today is July 29th. I have right here a monthly bill view, and you can actually get this in the budget sheet bundle as well as the printable budget book, which is what this is in. I have it in the floral colorway, which, has this pretty cover page right here. But this is my monthly bill view. So the first thing that I do almost every single month is I sit down and I map out my paydays in a calendar view of some sort. I also have a free how to budget download that you can get that comes with a monthly bill view and like a budget sheet too. It looks different than this, but same concept, But today I just want to focus on how I handle a paycheck. Anyways, so every month I try and notate my paydays in different colors, or sometimes I use different colored highlighters, and I write down what bill that paycheck is responsible for. So today, my paycheck today was responsible for some other bills that are happening in August. So everything before this payday has already been paid for the month of July. I get a lot of questions and assumptions that, oh, you must be a month ahead in your bills, But the reality is I'm not. I assign whatever bill is happening in that 2-week period goes to that specific paycheck. So this is what I do. This helps a lot with like a visual of, okay, what bill is going to be paid by what paycheck. So that's what I do here. Then I take all those bills that I was responsible for with this paycheck and I write it all down. And you can do this in an Excel spreadsheet. You can use a plain notebook and paper. Like, you don't necessarily have to have this specific thing. You just do what needs to work for you. So this is my layout for this week. My adult job, as I call it, is just my corporate 9-to-5 that I have. I don't ever loop in any DebtFreePanda income into like my normal paydays. If I ever do, it's always noted in like an extra debt or extra savings payment that I get done. I'll mark down that, oh, this is from DebtFreePanda income, things like that. But right now, everything is being paid by my adult job. And I had a lot of credit cards that I am paying with this paycheck, but I'm also paying extra debt onto extra payment to my credit card. Anyways, this is what I typically go off of when I budget out my paycheck. And before I get 1,000 questions, I am married. I do not have any kids yet. We have pet cats and pet rabbits, and my husband and I budget separately. So we are aware of each other's budget. We keep each other in the loop of, hey, I'm getting paid today, or hey, I got a bonus this paycheck, things like that. And, we consult each other on bigger purchases as well. But we just have separate bank accounts, but we are 100% transparent with each other with what our money goes to. And this is how I budget out my paycheck, utilizing my monthly view calendar, saying, okay, all of this stuff is due with this paycheck. That's what I'm going to pay. So after this is all figured out, I work on my cash envelopes and my sinking funds. I will make separate videos on these because I know these topics can be kind of confusing. But the cash envelopes, which I'll talk about today, are my variable expenses and what I like to call my in-person spending. If I'm paying for it in person, I most likely am using cash for it. A lot of people prefer using a card. They feel it's safer. They don't want to carry around a big wallet like this, or they don't feel safe carrying around a big wallet like this with cash inside. But I do keep like my sinking funds locked up in a gun safe. So my cash envelopes, circling back to cash envelopes, this is variable spending. Both of these, really, if I feel like I need to change it, I'll change it. I'm not tied down to this number. And I always give myself, speaking of tying down, speaking of not always like sticking to this if I need to, I always leave a little bit of a buffer inside of my bank account. So I could write this down as a line item in my expenses and then have a zero-based budget. But it just works for my brain. I like to see, okay, I have $139 in my bank account. That means I can go to Starbucks and load $15 on my Starbucks card and not worry that I do not have money for it. I will just write that down in here, put it in the actual column, adjust the actuals. That's how it works for me. So that's where the variable cash spending comes in. Sinking funds, if you saw my last video, I'm done with Christmas. I actually deposited $1,200 into my SoFi checking account, savings account, because I have a vault set up for Christmas, and they just raised the interest rate on it to 1.8%, I believe, which is fantastic. Sure, I'll earn a couple dollars on my $1,200 that I just put in there up to Christmas, but I did that because all of my family lives across the country, so buying gifts online is just what's going to work for us. So that's why it's in a physical checking account that I could transfer it into the checking account and just like use my card online to buy the presents. So I'm actually starting up my Dreambox sinking fund. I'm putting a little bit of money in there. So that's like a crafting storage solution that I really, really, really want someday, and it's very expensive. It is roughly, I think, with all the customizations that I want to do, it's gonna be about $3,500. So yeah, it's a lot, but I want it. I feel like it'll help with my organization of like all of my different crafts, but wraps up how I set up my budget. So most importantly is knowing how much your income is and what your expenses are, and budgeting. In what I've always done is budgeting each paycheck and knowing what paycheck is assigned to what bills, and having this kind of visual really helps me set up my budget and sets me up for success. 99% of the time, my cash envelopes and my sinking funds are almost like a fixed expense, but I know it's something that I can change if I need to. If for any reason a lot of my bills started falling in one paycheck, then I could say, okay, then I'm going to completely skip my sinking funds and just do that the next time that I get paid. That's the beauty of personal finance, and I cannot stress this enough. Personal finance is personal. I am married and I have no kids. You are probably single and have 3 kids. You might be married and have 5 kids. You need to tailor your budget to your needs. Just because I do it this way does not mean this is the only way you can budget. Please, please, please look into other methods of budgeting, zero-based budgeting. Maybe you like to travel, so you're going to travel hack. Maybe you don't use cash, you strictly use cards. That's okay. If it works for you and you're still meeting your financial goals, that is amazing. And I will never shame anyone for doing what works for them. So I just wanted to make this video to help out the people that kind of don't know where to start, but hey, this is what works for me. And if you can take little tidbits of what I do and apply it to your own financial portfolio, that's great. And if you find something else that works better, that's awesome. Let me know in the comments, like, what works for you. I would love to know what works for other people. It's so interesting to see how other people, feel financial success, I guess. So I'm happy you joined me on this long-winded explanation of how I set up my budget for every paycheck, but I hope it helped you. And if you have any suggestions for other newbie budgeters, please leave a comment down below. Like, what are your best tips for beginners? I mean, I will list my top 3 right here. Track your expenses for a month. Tally up all of the money that's going to specific categories, and then start setting a budget for those categories. Whether you utilize cash envelopes to have like a physical cash budget, or you use like an expense tracker to keep track of all of the categories from like swiping your card, like keeping track of your expenses will definitely give you a wake-up call. Let me tell you. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I spent $900 on just food last month. Are you kidding me? I need to rein it in a little bit. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate you tagging along my personal finance journey, and I wish you the very best on your personal finance journey. So thanks, guys. See you later.